And put the handkerchief down.
Oh, no, it's so, everybody has, oh, there we go.
Now, in this Cinderella, this is Rockwell Blake, our Prince Charming for tonight. In this Cinderella, he impersonates you.
Oh, yes. Does very well.
Do you ever come out looking like that?
No.
Oh, we don't have that to look forward to.
I'll be glad to lend him.
No, you can keep it. I'll stay with what I have.
Rocky, tell us why singing this kind of role is so terribly difficult, and why when tenors hear Cenerentola, they shy away from it.
Well, the pieces are generally very florid. In other words, there's a lot of notes, and depending on one's technique, one tends to use extra air or tends to conserve air. Some people run out of breath in the midst of their long runs and phrases, and also the part is rather high. We have some, the notes that are written for me are high Cs. I add a few, but in general, the high C is approached in such a manner that one has to really jump to get to them.
This season you've done also Percy in Anna Bolena, which is a Donizetti piece. Mm-hmm. Do you find the coloratura in Donizetti any different from the Rossini?
Very much so.
How?
Well, the amount of weight that one carries in the voice for the different pieces is quite a difference, and so that the coloratura can be more difficult in the Donizetti by virtue of that weight, so that it becomes a real workout to make them clean so that they can be heard and understood.
How high does this role go?
For me, it goes to a high D. Above the high C.
You must grow a few inches every time you reach the nose.
No, I add an extra piece of spine.
How do you know how much to ornament? Does somebody do your ornaments for you?
I have coached with a number of people that have offered suggestions, and I tend to melt them all together on my own. I like to take suggestions and everyone else's ideas and sort of mix them up.
How'd you learn how to trill?
I just did it. I don't think I ever really knew how. I just sort of had to do it one time and made myself. I just had to do it.
Do you do any special exercises, Alan? Any warm-up, anything in particular?
Oh, of course, yes.
What do you do different from, let's say, when you do Danilo or when you do Bohème or the other operas?
Oh, nothing different. I do this, I have the same routine all the time. I start with yoga exercises to limber up my body.
You start with what?
Well, limbering up yoga exercises.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And then I go into my vocal exercises. And by that time, it's already noon, and I have lunch.
And then?
And then I'm ready to go rehearsal. That's why I'm never here before 10.
Do you find yoga relaxes you?
Yes. Yeah, I like it very much.
Do you do anything like that?
In a sense, yes. Sometimes I will physically exercise a great deal, not necessarily in the yoga vein.
Well, I remember once we did a barber together, and
yes.
I thought you had the longest breath span of any person I'd ever sung with. I just couldn't believe how long you could sing without stopping for a breath.
Well, thank you. That's something I did develop when I was young.
How?
Well, when I started studying voice, I wore a 38 coat. And I sort of stooped a little bit, and my voice teacher said, "You look terrible, stand up." And so I went home and borrowed my father's bowling ball and lied down on the floor and lifted up over my head and just kept stretching all the ligaments in my chest. And today I wear a 46 coat.
What? From 38 to 46?
And he also brings his bowling ball to rehearsal.
I can't believe that.
Oh,
Boy, I'm glad I didn't do it. Wouldn't like that at all. Are you planning to stay primarily in the bel canto repertoire?
Absolutely. Absolutely. A little bit out occasionally to step out and try to find the outer edges, or the outer limits, as it would be.
Well, it's, as you know, a very unusual gift to be able to do this kind of repertoire, and it's very hard to find tenors, especially with the flexibility and the extension of your... you know, I have visions now of every tenor lying on the floor with their bowling ball. Or for that matter, every girl who would like to experiment lying on the floor. Well, I've enjoyed talking to you both, and we're going to have a little pause, and then we're going to come right back.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.